Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
While the preset reports provided in QuickBooks are very useful, you will probably want to create your own custom reports for your company file. You can create reports that either detail or summarize the data stored in your QuickBooks company file. You can create a custom transaction detail or summary report from scratch to specify all of the report's features, or you can modify one of the preset reports to display the data that you want. Modifying a preset report can often save you a few steps when creating a custom report, especially if there is a preset report that closely resembles the data that you want to see. Once you have modified a preset report, you can memorize it to save it as your own custom report. Modifying a preset report is a good way to learn about the report customization options available in QuickBooks. Once you have mastered the available reporting options, you can then design your own custom transaction detail and summary reports with much more confidence. The available report customization options will change depending on whether or not the report that you modify or create is a transaction detail or summary report. A transaction detail report displays detailed transaction information about data within QuickBooks. A summary report summarizes totals from transaction details within QuickBooks. With the summary reports, you have more summarization options available. In this lesson, we will examine how to set reporting options for both transaction detail and summary reports within QuickBooks. To modify a report based on a preset report, first open the desired preset report that you want to use as the basis for your own custom report. Next, click the Customize Report button that appears within the toolbar at the top of the report. That will open the Modify Report dialog box, which you use to customize the report's settings. Alternately, you can create a new transaction detail or summary report from scratch within QuickBooks by selecting Reports from the menu bar, rolling down to Custom Reports, and then choosing either Transaction Detail or Summary from the side menu that appears. In the Modify Report dialog box that then opens, you can set all of the report's aspects on the tabs shown to create your own custom report from scratch. In the Modify Report dialog box, you will see the major categories of report customization displayed as tabs across the top of the dialog box. These tabs are Display, Filters, Header and Footer, and Fonts and Numbers. Generally speaking, on the Display tab, you can add and/or customize the report columns, set summarization options, and change the date range of the report. You use the Filters tab to choose which transactions are selected and displayed within the report. Changing the options available on the Display and Filters tabs allows you to view anything that you want to know about your QuickBooks data. Most report modification is made on these two tabs. In addition to the Display and Filters tabs, you use the Header and Footer tab and the Fonts and Numbers tab to control the general appearance of your report header and footer, as well as its text and numbers. On the Display tab, you will see slightly different options depending upon the type of report that you are creating, transaction detail or summary. For both types of reports, the Report Date Range section is used to select the range of transaction dates used for the report. You can use the Dates drop-down to select from the most commonly used report ranges, or you can use the From and the To date selectors to specify a starting date and ending date for the records that you want to use. Also, for both types of reports, you choose how the report calculates and displays income and expenses by choosing either accrual or cash as desired within the Report Basis section. The next section, Columns, is where you will see the primary difference between the transaction detail and the summary reports within QuickBooks. If you are creating a transaction detail report, then in the columns section, you can click on the name of any column shown in the scrollable list to place a check mark next to it and add it to the report. To remove a column marked as being added to the report, click it to remove the check from the column as well as its display from the report. You can choose how to display a total over the transactions shown by making a choice from the Total By drop-down menu. You then can use the Sort By drop-down to choose by which column's values you wish to sort the data in the report. You can choose any report column that you have added to the report from this drop-down menu. You can then select either ascending order or descending order to select the sorting method to use on the selected column's values. Next, for transaction detail reports, you can click the Advanced button to open the Advanced Options dialog box. Here you will see the Include and Open Balance Aging sections. In the Include section, you can select either the All option to include all accounts regardless of whether or not there was any activity within the account for the selected date range, or you can select the In Use option to only use accounts that had activity within the date range specified. For aging reports, you can select to view the customer's open balance as of the current date or as of the report date by selecting the desired option button. Once you have set any advanced reporting options if needed, click the OK button in the Advanced Options dialog box to apply them and return to the Modify Report window. Now for summary reports, the columns section within the Display tab looks very different. Most summary reports will show columns of totals for selected rows of data. In this section, you choose what type of data to display within the columns of the report by making a choice from the Display Columns By drop-down. You then choose the values to summarize within the rows by making a choice from the Display Rows By drop-down. To the right of that, you can select to display columns for the amount, quantity, or both by selecting an option button below the Display Columns for text. Then to the right, you can choose how to sort the data by making a selection from the Sort By drop-down. You can select either to perform an ascending or descending sort on this data by making a choice from the Sort In option button group. For some types of report date ranges, such as this fiscal year, you can also add comparison subcolumns to the report by checking any desired checkboxes shown within the Add Subcolumns For section. The choices available will depend on the date range selected. Simply check the checkboxes shown to add those summary subcolumns to your report if desired. Finally, if needed, you can click the Advanced button to open the Advanced Options dialog box. For summary reports, you can choose what records to use in the report by making your choice from the Display Rows and Display Columns sections. You can select Active accounts to only show data from accounts that had activity in the selected report period, all accounts regardless of activity in the selected report period, or non-zero accounts to show any account that has a non-zero balance regardless of its activity. You can then choose the reporting period to use for your data from the Reporting Calendar section. Your choices are fiscal year, calendar year, or income tax year. Once you have set any advanced options within the Advanced Options dialog box, click the OK button to apply them and return to the Display tab within the Modify Report window. Now for both transaction detail and summary reports, The Filters tab within the Modify Report window is used to create and modify the report filters that allow you to further refine your data selections within the report. For example, assuming that you decided to display the account data within your report on the Display tab, you could then apply a filter to the account data to display only expense account types. This is simply one example of filtering the selected report data, and you can set and modify any of the available filters shown within this tab to customize your report content to create hundreds of possible filter variations. If the report that you are modifying already has filters applied, such as the filters applied to many of the preset reports, then you will see the current filters and their settings shown in the Current Filter Choices section of the Filters tab. You can click on any filter shown in this list to view its settings to the left. In the Choose Filter section, you can then change the settings of the filter by using the options that are available. Depending upon which filter you select, the options for filtering it will vary. Some filters need you to type a matching value, some allow you to select from a drop-down menu of choices, and some allow you to select a desired option from one or two possible options. You can add new filters to the report by selecting the name of a filter to apply from the Choose Filter list and then changing its settings. To read more about how a filter that you have selected can be applied, you can click the Tell Me More button at the bottom of this tab to open a help file about the filter and how it can be used within the reports. This is a good way to familiarize yourself with many of the report filtering options that are available. To completely remove a filter that has been applied to a report, start by selecting the name of the filter to remove from the Current Filter Choices list at the right side of the Filters tab. Then click the Remove Selected Filter button to delete the filter from the report. Also note that both the Display and Filters tabs contain a Revert button that will revert any changes that you have made to them if desired. You can then click the Header and Footer tab within the Modify Report window to change the display of content within the header and footer of your report. In the Show Header Information section, check any content that you want to show in the header of your report. You can then type the text to display into the adjacent fields. You then repeat this process for the Show Footer Information section to display the content you choose in the report footer area. Then use the Alignment drop-down in the Page Layout section to select the desired layout for your header and footer content within the report. You can click the Fonts and Numbers tab in the Modify Report window to set the display of the fonts used within the various sections of your report shown in the Fonts section of this tab. You can also set the display of number values in your report within this tab. To set the font used within a report section, start by selecting the Report section to format from the Change Font For list. The current font used for the display of the selected item will be shown to the right of the list. Then click the Change Font button to open a dialog box that will allow you to change the appearance of the text. Select your desired font options from the choices shown, and then click the OK button in the dialog box to apply them and return to the Modify Report window. You then repeat this process for any other report sections whose fonts you wish to modify. You can set the display of negative numbers within the report by making your desired selections from the options shown in the Show Negative Numbers section. You can set optional display settings for all numbers within the Show All Numbers section by checking any available checkboxes if desired. Once you have finished modifying your report, click the OK button within the Modify Report window to apply your report settings.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.